Good morning and welcome to Jasiri, the show where conversations get real and boundaries get pushed. Even on this show, I get pushed to the wall by Lolo and the likes. Catherine is innocent, so figure out who the likes is. But anyways, today is going to be a very interesting show. We have a lot lined up, and of course, you know, we bring the gist and we bring the inside story to the gist that you know. And we have someone special joining us as well. Welcome, Annie.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be back here.
I would say it's good to see you again, but this is my first time seeing you. The first time I saw you was on screen. You were threatening my job.
Was I?
Yeah.
No, honey, don't worry. You're good. I promise.
Right.
You're good. Don't worry. Not coming for you.
Wow.
Lola, what's the problem?
Wow.
I'm channeling my good girl. My good girl
It
era.
happens every time. Lola does this every time.
I don't know. They really oppress me on this table. I am such a forthright woman. But with this girl in red that believes she can fly with her bold shoulders.
Can we just point out the irony of the references? Lady in red and I believe I can fly by.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow!
Hey!
You see, I have a partner that helped me to make everything polite.
I think
She made polite my insult.
I think Annie rubs off on you.
Annie, we're happy to have you.
I'm so glad to be back.
Oh my
So
gosh,
glad. I
she's
missed
such
you
a
all
pretty.
terribly.
She reminds me of, somebody that they call like sunflower, Goldilocks kind of person.
Oh my, that's funny.
Yeah, and soft. I just wish I could do her wickedness.
You know, she should be the one wearing yellow. You don't deserve it, but I mean, she should.
Well, I might not deserve it, but I'm trying to channel what I do not have.
It's not working. Right?
Sun. But it'd be nice to really hurt Annie and watch her cry. Why did you do that, Lola?
Annie is so soft-spoken. It would be interesting to know how you react. Please, just humor us. When you're upset, how often do you get upset? And when you're upset, how do you deal with? Does this your softness change, the soft voice, does it change?
It depends on the source of the upset. And it depends on whether I want to have a relationship with that person afterwards or not.
You think all that before you get angry?
She's very analytic.
But most of the times, the quieter I get, the more angry I am.
I told you.
Yeah, when I'm yelling, I'm not angry.
I know. I told you.
So it is, you see, people who are quiet in their anger, those ones can kill you.
No, total serial killer mood.
They kill you and
Like
done. You don't even know that you are done.
Listen, yeah. So we try to keep it, we keep it under control. Yeah.
I'm so tempted to ask, but I was going to say.
Don't let people know that.
I was going to ask her, which month is she?
Oh,
So we know
Oh my God.
No,
Horoscope.
December.
Yeah, I'm Cav.
It's them. Okay, let's move on.
Queen of horoscope.
It's really horror.
Horoscope.
Guys, listen, it's no secret that the current economy is taking a toll on everyone, even the richest man in Africa.
Yeah.
So ladies, today I am the one with a few questions for you.
Okay, you're sitting on my seat.
Okay, so what is the cheapest thing you can buy right now in Nigeria?
Oxygen.
Actually,
Even in Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, oxygen. You get as it is.
actually.
Cool.
No, maybe Annie doesn't know what she said. Oxygen hospital. Do you know how much you
Oh,
pay for
no, like
oxygen?
she was saying, like for those who don't need the special package, like the one that
They
comes
don't
with
it.
Standard level oxygen.
But even for that
But
one, in
serious?
some northern states, they're breathing in something
Some-
poisonous.
Yeah.
So
Have you not passed Lagos and found out that there are more trucks now oozing out dangerous black smoke?
Yes.
I wonder
Plus all
who
the
is
firewood
regular.
for
And VIOs
everything.
are everywhere.
Where?
They are supposed to check how cars that are on the road, if they are good and fit to be on the road.
Yeah.
I cannot lie to you.
Yeah.
In the past 1 week, I have seen cars emitting very dangerous
Toxic
looking,
gas, yeah.
like gaseous black smoke from their whatever.
Yeah, and they just keep going.
And they just keep going.
To them, it's
Polluting
not being
everywhere.
Don't stop until the car stops. Let me tell you a funny story. I was in traffic one day, only in Lagos. And there were these two downfall buses.
Yes.
So the one behind didn't have any brakes. Let me tell you how he stopped his car. He ran into the car in front of him.
No.
No, yeah. And the car in front, no, let me, this is the kicker. The car in front was aware.
Was it what?
Was
The
aware.
boss.
The boss in
So they're
front was
using each
aware
other
that he
to-
was using him as
So-
A buffer.
First of all, what are you doing
Yes.
on the road without
Brakes.
in your motor?
Have you not seen the one that will come out and quickly bring stone and put in under
True
the
story,
tire
hand to God.
to stop? The conductor will jump down and put stone.
No.
Only
They have the stone in the car.
Lagos.
Only in Lagos.
Only in Lagos.
Only in Lagos.
Ah,
Okay, so name one thing you were addicted to, but you had to give up because of the economic situation. Seriously, one thing you were addicted to,
There's
but you
this
had to
there's this
give up.
burger that I like, but that give up is not an option
Not
because
happening.
even if it's the last money in my account every day, I still buy it every Mondays and Fridays.
So you make a plan for it. So you make a plan for it. Sha.
Yes.
the one I no longer eat because of economic hardship is sushi.
Oh.
Because I cannot afford it.
I would say it was shrimps.
Yeah, prawns are
Shrimps.
like, they've like tripled in price.
My sister.
It's more than triple.
Was it?
The last time my mother was
I
in
don't even
Lagos,
cook shrimps at
because she
all.
loves snails. She came to Lagos and, I got her snails almost every day. The next time she came to Lagos, she's like, she's missing snails. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? Me too.
We'll survive.
Me too.
Snails. Do you know snail is a meat I like? But because I have young children that might not value what it means. My children can see the snail and throw it out.
I've never-
Mommy, it looks weird. Those are my own kids.
Yes, yes,
so I
yes,
only
yes.
eat it when I go out and when I'm spending other people's money. So once anybody just asks, what kind of protein? Who's paying? He says, me, snail.
That's the question to
Snail.
ask. Who's paying?
Give me 2 snails. Yeah.
Okay, mine is shrimps. I would just go for shrimps without thinking. But now, the economy has to regulate.
Yeah.
The economy has to regulate everything. It's like temperature of your body. It has to.
Yes.
That's what's regulating.
Your house list, you don't make it just
No,
randomly.
No, you
No,
have.
no,
I always say this thing that I'm always anxious before I go to the market
Yes.
these days.
Yes.
Because you plan. Things are on the. I went to the market still
Yeah.
at the weekend, and my
You just-
dear sisters.
You know how you plan a budget, right, to go to the market and you say, okay, let's say you want to buy a tuber of yam. You know in your
That's
mind.
10K.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Let's
you
not
mentioned
do
yam
too
so
much.
in your
Let's not
mouth.
do too
I'm
much.
saying that because that's the one that happened to me, right? So I went to the market. I had planned like last, let me say like 6K. I'll get it to go. Yeah.
You should call
Then
me.
I did the same thing. So when I planned 6K, I now added like extra
Give or
3K.
take, yeah.
Right. Then I did the same thing for everything on the list. Added just extra 3K, like buffed it up so that when
Then
I'm
you saw
coming
the
back,
total,
I'm coming
Abi.
back
Have
with
extra
change.
change.
You saw the total.
Came back with nothing.
Nothing minus
Deficit.
some other
And
things
not
like
so
yeah.
much. There you go.
Deficit.
There you go.
Yes.
They're soon going to start selling yam in slices
I
because
said-
tubers.
Because tubers are
I was
unaffordable.
thinking in the market, I said, it's Lolo. I will tell this thing too. We'll go and buy yam and share it half. But it's me and Lord that can understand. Honestly, my sister, just let us taste the yam.
let's taste
I
it.
told you
And it's
last
for us,
Eat
not the
yam
children.
2 weeks, like a week
Children will
ago,
not eat.
I actually wanted to buy yam, and I magnanimously walked to the malam. When he said 8K, and he didn't just say 8K, he
Yes,
said
so-
8K with attitude.
Yeah. You
So,
take it or you leave it.
the person and I looked at each other, went to buy it, said, are you joking, malam? Let's just, he said, leave my shop.
Whoa. Wow. Now you don't price. You see, market people, their blood is hot.
Very hot.
You don't price them anyhow. Please, guys, if you know you're not going to buy somebody,
Just be going.
I beg, just dig go. True.
Because they will drag you in the mud.
But if we are feeling like that, imagine what average families are feeling like.
I need to tell you something. One of my staff, someone that works with me, I asked him to get cucumbers. This statement's going to break your heart. He said, madam, people like us, we don't eat cucumber again. Cucumbers.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I tried to buy 2 cucumbers. I can't name the shop. And they were charging me, I think, like 2009 or something.
And that's
for
ordinary
2.
cucumber,
And it
not
was
like
one big one
zucchini
and
or
one small. No,
anything.
not zucchini. Ordinary cucumbers. One big one, one small one. In fact, the big one was kind of like
2.9.
medium. 2.9. That's why I asked him. I want him to get it from his side. He said, we don't eat it. We don't eat cucumber.
Even Gary, normally one would say, well, nowadays we just drink Gary and sip brown. And we just drink Gary and
Let me
sip brown.
shock you
It's
what my
hard.
last son did yesterday. We are buying a bottle of water now. That's a bottle that you put in the dispenser.
Yes, yeah.
1,516. What? And my son went to take a cup. he didn't finish it,
You know, you would
and
drink
he poured the rest away.
You know, you would drink it.
You need to see how my son came for national. He was a national assembly. All of us sat down and we told him how irresponsible he was, how we will start to boil water from the tap for him so that he can drink it.
He won't try
he
that
sat
again.
on the steps throughout looking contrite.
He will not try that
No,
again.
because-
I think it was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I went to get dog food for
Mommy
Asha.
Asha, you
And then,
better.
You're
you
still
know,
doing
I
dog food?
bought, no, that was like 3 weeks ago now.
okay.
Now we are
Things have
sharing some more. You know, so I bought the food and then it's canned and the price was on it. And the guy starts scratching the price. I'm like, why are you doing that? He says, please do that. Because when your gate guy or your housekeeper sees
What
this,
you're spending on it, yeah.
they will get
They can
pissed.
attack
You
you.
get pissed, they can
Yes.
poison you.
Yes.
Because you're buying food for the dog,
Dogs
something
that
that
they can't eat.
They can't afford to
And
eat.
it actually struck me like, truly.
Sardine. Me that my children like toast. Now we use one sardine for 13 bread.
Just a feel of sardine. You know, when you sniff it and then
And you, because if you use, no, it's not funny.
No, seriously. But when you're broke, who's the first person you run to for help? Like,
Jesus! His name is Jesus!
No, I mean, human being, flesh and blood. It's what I'm asking.
They don't exist.
Okay, I would, for me, I would
Before
say
they
my-
used to exist.
so-
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I think
The
my
people that
family-
used to help now need help. What are you talking
No, I have
about?
only two bosom friends that if I'm in their straits, I would call Biola or Diola. Honestly, there are people I don't have to explain
Their
to.
names end with Ola now. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
Diola and Biola, I love you both. Thank you so much. Because sometimes when I am in their straits, they're the ones I would call
come
and not
through.
feel shame.
Yeah.
Even though I would cry, but they won't make
don't
me
feel
feel
like something is wrong with you and you're
Yeah.
less than.
like hello. Imagine if someone like me come out and say, "Go fund me, help me," and I really need help. But pride of celebrity that
No, but isn't
For
that
shaking legs.
Isn't that a burden though?
It
That's
is.
another.
It is.
it is a
Celebrity
burden.
is a burden.
It is a
especially
burden.
the way we do it here.
So that's the thing. I would say that it's who allows themselves to be burdened, but it's not so easy because there's just this pressure, unspoken rules, physical pressure, online pressure, indirect bullets, stray bullets
Get
that you're
cancelled without
collecting.
knowing
Like
you were cancelled
this-
because
do
you did something that you
understand?
shouldn't have done, like you wore
Oh,
a dress
yeah.
twice, and I'm like, okay, guys, you know, maybe the celebrity life is not for everybody, but yeah, there is pressure to look a certain way and be a certain way and present a certain way, and celebrities are supposed to have money all the time.
Honestly,
Which is
that
not
thing.
true.
When people see me in a jam market, lol, I said, please, I'm one of
Yeah.
you. I am
I think
one of
mine
you.
mine would be my brother. It's just that when whoever is in need is called the needy at that point. You know, like we're helping the needy and then they rub it in your face like he's helping you. But at the end of the day, like we're paying it forward, doing it for each other. But
All right, guys, to all our helpers and helpees, please stay tuned. We are going to take a short break, and Jasiri will be right back. Stay tuned.
all right, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on Jasiri. We're streaming live on our social media platforms at News Central TV. So do well to join the conversation by using the hashtag Jasiri so we know that you are watching. And like Kat mentioned before the break, the economy is having its toll on everyone. And like we like to say here, the economy is economy, and you can all see it. Now, Aliko Dangote, Africa's richest man, has expressed willingness to sell his oil refinery to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, the NNPC Limited, amid ongoing disputes with Nigerian regulatory authorities. Now, the refinery is expected to start producing petrol by August 2024, and Nigerians have been waiting. However, production has been hindered by challenges like crude supply issues and a fire outbreak. Now, Dangote highlighted the difficulties his refinery has faced in accessing crude feedstock from international oil companies, the IOCs, and shared that his wealthy friends had advised him to invest abroad due to policy inconsistencies in Nigeria.
Do you know that somebody said, I have never heard Aliko Dangote speak this much. They said they have made Baba Shalaye.
I think that, okay.
You know how he says that his friends had advised him to invest
Yeah.
abroad? That is just so heartbreaking. And you say, okay, no, you know what? Let me grow. Let's bring it back home. Let's
build
be
the
part of this
economy,
process. and then he's facing the multitude of challenges he's facing. I know Nigerians are all saying that, oh, finally he gets to be a Nigerian.
To feel what Nigerians feel.
Is that even a good thing, though?
No, it's not.
It's
It's
good
not
thing.
a good thing, not from any angle. I mean, if someone like Dangote is complaining about the economy, and this is like the biggest I told you so from his friends, it's like, this is the one time that they should have been wrong. And they weren't.
Yeah.
Because Nigeria just keeps happening to people.
And from the things that he said, like he literally said it from a point of exhaustion, right? Aside this that he's doing, like stopping the plans for the oil refinery, he has also cancelled plans to invest in a new steel plant in Nigeria following government accusations of monopolistic intentions. And he has said that he's not the only person with the money. There are other rich people in Nigeria. Let them invest in other things in Nigeria.
You know, this is something very shameful. You know, in the early years, why would a country develop when, do you know how much all these illicit and illegal activities are bringing in? And they are not even putting it here.
They're not regulated.
They are buying these things from there, and they're still sending it back there. So that means there's nothing for us to work with in Nigeria. This is just a comedy of errors that we always watch in this country. They look at this person. We have refineries before, in different places, LME, all those places. We have them. They have been dysfunctional over too many governments. And are you telling me that when a single individual, I know Dangote is rich, but he's not the only one that is investing. There are many kinds of investment now. There are angel investors he's probably working with. And these things have a time lapse that he has to be able to work and be able to recoup their money back. So even this setback is going to affect and ricochet through many things. And we forget that the international community is watching us. Every day we are winning investors. You toast investors, so the investors say, I don't want to date you. They will go to countries like Rwanda that is stable economically and they can thrive. Every day we are working, manufacturing, die in our country.
So my thing is, if we're willing to make the ground fertile enough for investors to come and invest, why are we frustrating our own out of business?
But we're not willing.
We're not willing.
And because that's what we do.
We are flying somebody out of, have we heard that we're flying somebody out of space? Yes. What do you think is it's partnership, Shebi?
You know, see, Nigeria feels like that kid on the playground that is just like, oh, everybody's doing it. Okay, let me go and do it too. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to jump. That is how that moon story read to me. We haven't figured out how to give ourselves power for 10 consistent hours. And we're going to take someone out of planet Earth. Really?
Somebody's child?
No. So we're not making
one of their own.
I feel that with what has happened, imagine if, you know, maybe they have a community of rich friends and they just summon Dangote and sit down and give him food and drink and say, you see, when we told you so. People are saying that, okay, Dangote, everybody knows he's rich, but probably his investments or return on his investments are out of the country.
Oh, yes.
So you're bringing it back home just because we always say stay to grow the naira or stay to grow the country or stay to... So what are we, how are we doing if this is one of our own? And like Lolo says, the man does not talk a lot. The man is about his money, is about the numbers.
Very quiet, very intentional,
But look at all the supposed rich people. Where are their investments?
Not here.
Not here. And now, it's not like I'm pro-monopoly. But the policies in the country do not even encourage anybody to rise
businesses
to the occasion. There are many, and they just make policies happen on us.
Look at like the tariff, like the power tariff.
Look at that styrofoam ban. Do you know that is something they should ease into? Because last year or 2 years ago, some people have just imported. But if they had known that a ban is coming, they probably would have changed their investments. That means some people are languishing.
Or their money has gone down the drain.
I was saying before now, I said manufacturing is dying. All of us are looking at it. Do you know how medicines have skyrocketed? Some of us that have to use routine drugs, do you know what it takes to be able to be alive?
Your medication.
You know, sometimes I would look and said, somebody will say, may you not be sick in Nigeria.
Oh yeah, health is definitely wealth.
You will definitely not be able to take care of yourself.
Health is definitely
wealth. If Dangote is complaining, do you know how many small businesses have collapsed?
Well, apparently we have an update to that because it said that the former member of the Senate, Lukobiri, is meeting with Dangote and the NNPC as well as others to try and resolve the ongoing issues surrounding the refinery.
You see, that's my own. Did you have to wait till everything is scattered?
No,
everything.
It's knee-jerk reaction.
Exactly. It's dirty, it's filthy.
Yes.
It's not making sense. And suddenly somebody wants to appear to be the hero who is putting them like super glue back together.
Are you kidding
Don't
me?
look that way.
Where is his cape?
There are economic policies that need to be addressed, but like it is, I don't know whether I swear.
Look at that. There are so many things that we can do better. Did we not frustrate all the oil companies out of this country that they didn't give back to the communities that they are supposed to give back to? Even all these people, those are the things that we should be looking at for. How we can make Dangote benefit the communities, the people, and make sure you're getting something substantial back from it.
Do you know how many
It's not
jobs
victimizing him as an individual.
Monopoly or not,
jobs
job opportunities
have just
massive.
been lost
Yes.
right now. Yes, because a lot of people would have been employed in this the
Refineries
business of
when it starts to work.
Exactly.
And that was part of his agenda when he was launching it at the time. I think New Central was when they're covering it, and he said that if there's one thing that he's proud about for for the refinery is the fact that a lot of jobs
Have been created now.
have been
Yes.
created for young Nigerians, for a lot of people.
And I need to say this. There is I feel like we're losing the culture of hard, honest work in this country.
We don't
in
love
our
it.
generation.
We've lost it.
Like,
No,
like the Gen Zs, we're forgetting what it is to do an honest day's work. Everyone is focused on, I mean, there's nothing wrong with content creation. It's a massive opportunity. But the culture of being able to put your hands in the ground and work for something, we're losing that. And opportunities like this furthers the degradation of, our ability to work.
I think, these kinds of things, if we're going by antecedents of things that have happened and how things have played out in Nigeria concerning policy inconsistencies and businesses putting the cart before the horse, it may shock you that somebody there among the community is not just happy with how things are going, or it's not just going to benefit, and you decide, no, just scatter everything.
Exactly. That is our culture.
That is how we are.
If I do not benefit,
I
don't let it
allow this thing
to
succeed.
It's not even about benefiting. There are people who, whether or not they're benefiting, the fact that they are suspicious of the source, right? They do not exactly agree with, maybe this person is just it doesn't mean us well, and it's understandable because we've been exploited a lot by people inside and outside.
But
so
he has been doing
trust has been
business in
eroded.
this country for years.
I remember there was a time that there was a story about him using people for ritual, because there was a lot of Dangote truck accidents and then they started saying that he's using people for
when
ritual
I
and
hear
things
that
like
nonsense, it's only in Nigeria and it happens among poor people.
Oh, yeah.
When you see people talking about, I keep asking people, I said, where is our professionalism? If you want to talk to me, a businessman, we should be calling the economists, the financial analysts, those that know, accountants, people that know money,
Policy
and how to
makers.
crunch numbers,
Yes.
and how to pull data for us.
Yes.
So that even if you are against him, we're not against him because we don't like his face. We're against him.
Where he comes from.
The reason
These are the facts,
to
this is
affect
the
the economy
data.
in this way, we are not
Exactly.
thriving in this way, investment is this. Then I will say, okay, I understand.
Yeah,
But
but
everything in Nigeria feels
It comes
as if
down to something
it is about
metaphysical
a person.
and diabolical.
I
And
don't
it's
like
just
your
ridiculous.
face,
Yeah.
therefore it
It's
will
not
work.
good.
And then you get your own faction of people to come and
To
just
just-
spoil everything. The man was where he was. We're interested. This is a big business opportunity for growth in every
Across the
aspect.
country, yes.
Across the country, in terms of job creation, in terms of even the technical people who are, as in you cannot overlook and say that this is
Overemphasize, yeah.
But what are you even
Overemphasized.
saying? When they said they wanted to do refineries, don't you know that there are people that brings in generators, that brings in companies, that have franchises? How do you want it to work?
Yeah, but we've been
you
talking
want to
about
be
this
able
for
to
years.
upscale you want to make sure that you are pricing very high the petroleum product, because when you say you take it here, take it out, it has flown. He went abroad and came back. That means the airplane, it's going to cost more.
Yeah.
But if you say you did it with that, you just drove your truck to Dangote refinery and refined, they don't want that.
And that's why there was like an opera when he said, when there was the news about charging in dollars, right? And they're like, no, why would you do that to your own people?
Yes.
But it's business, is a business venture at the end of the day. No, let's move on.
Anyway, the next story is truly bewildering. A man was arrested for allegedly posing as a lecturer at the Federal College of Education in Bichi, Kano State. He entered a classroom of first-year students of NCE 1, claimed to be their lecturer, and announced a surprise test. To prevent cheating, he seized several phones. After the test, he told the class representative to bring the test papers to his office and then left. The man ran away with the seized phones, leaving the students stunned. I have to cough on this.
You see, it's the nerve of him for me.
It is.
You see, this man went to FCE Bichi, entered a class of freshers, claimed to be the lecturer, announced they were going to have a quick test. While they were writing the test, he seized some phones to prevent cheating.
And he disappeared.
Listen. The classmates to collect the test and bring them to his office. That's how he ran away from with the phones. How is the market of these phones going to help his life?
It's the 500
You ladies are not understanding that. My problem is not the man. We lack structure everywhere. How is it that somebody walks into a school?
Thank you.
Not even class first. He walks through the school gate, unrecognized, nobody
By the
stops
security?
him, confidently walks into a class. You know, I've already entered the school. Let me just take it one step further. Walks into the class, stands on the podium or whatever it is, and then I think he gave a whole lecture, gave a surprise test.
It's something that, trust
It's so
me,
bewildering.
he has studied the patterns.
Yeah, he probably has been in that school a couple of
He
times.
has come to the school probably to eat. You know how probably they have a canteen and, you know, people are eating. You hear gist now, Nadia gist.
Please, what did he even give you test on?
Good question. Good question. And this is why I'm going to play.
It came as an afterthought.
Devil's advocate a little bit, because it is possible. I know that it is possible that this man literally just said, I define food shop. I can't speak pidgin very well. And he walked into that school. That day, this was not pre-planned, not premeditated.
Yes.
And he just walked in there knowing this is Nigeria.
Yeah.
And anything goes. If I can get away with it, anything goes.
It's not premeditated because you cannot stand in front of me, give a test about something that is not related to the course.
He probably might know.
No, he might know, and this is the thing
must have
that I'm
done his
saying.
research.
This man is clearly educated.
He has done
Yes.
He has gone to school, and he is also jobless.
Yes.
So I know the material. I look like I can give a test. I'm just going to walk in there. Look at the background.
Look at the
If that
school.
is the school, then
Did they
of
catch
course he
him?
walked in there without anybody
But did
noticing.
they catch him?
We don't see-
apparently, I mean,
with the phones.
So.
You know, honestly, they said necessity is the mother
of invention.
Maybe hunger
People are
was the
hungry,
necessity
fam.
that made him very innovative. This country, we are
He's
in trouble.
wild.
Look at the students now. This
Yeah.
thing that has happened will set a bad precedent and a good one, because that means henceforth anybody cannot just walk into your class and introduce himself.
As your
in every
teacher.
school, if there's a new lecturer, there
needs to
must
be
be a
introduced,
senior
some sort of a
head of
assembly.
department
Yeah.
that would bring
Yes.
a lecturer and say, "This is your new lecturer. He will be taking this X amount."
Course.
I said the man
Your
went to
standing
night school
lecturer.
to do the homework for this thing. He had studied them.
He has studied
over
them.
a
I feel like
period of
honestly, this
time.
is just exposing our systems across board, not even this
tell the
trickles down
class
from
rep,
the
the class
government.
rep
Because
first asked
recently we were talking about a
Who are
policeman that boldly left. Did he leave Calabar or went to Calabar? I don't even know. He was deployed to somewhere, another state, stayed in the states that he was deployed from
Yes.
for years, and was posing as a I think he upgraded himself.
Yes, so to superintendent.
And then he kept operating. After
From
like
there, he
10
was supposed to go
years,
to Kaduna.
people got tired of his operation. Yes, I think, was it 10 years? People got tired of his
9
operations and then
months.
reported him.
Listen, just take me out, man.
You know, we have a system failure.
Oh,
we have
yeah.
a systemic failure. And
Systemic
if we do
failure.
not, a lot of things will start to happen.
We'll
If they
start.
are not already happening.
We'll start.
As in, this is just a precedent, because if somebody did this, trust me, part of why even being a journalist can be very arduous sometimes. Somebody will get another great idea from this story we just read.
Oh, yeah.
This happened in Bichi. That means I can do
I
this
can
and
do
that.
it where I am.
get away
we
with
have
it.
doctors, we have fake doctors that have been delivering
Prescribing
babies, doing
drugs and
surgeries. Did you remember that story? Doing surgeries
Based on videos they watch on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
I'm thinking that probably is this because it's in Kano, you know, Lagos. I don't see a reach back, so I don't know whether this could have worked in
Somewhere
Lagos.
else.
Maybe some.
Is it because
parts
the
of
back
Lagos.
No, but even at that, I remember
It's a
when
polytechnic.
in 100 level, right? We're so naive. We just sat down waiting for the lecturer, and then the
Yeah.
lecturer comes. Oh, my name is this. Oh, okay, thank you,
Yeah.
welcome, sir.
Yeah.
We don't know who he is. I've never seen
true.
you before. You were not part of my registration process, so I would believe that you're the lecturer. It's now up to the people outside that saw you coming in that did not say anything.
So my question would now be, what would the school say to the students who lost their phones? How are you going to compare? I don't. Oh, sorry.
I think the phones were retrieved,
I have an answer.
at least from the pictures that we see.
I hope that man was apprehended and
I have
that's
an
just not a
answer.
photo they just put of some man holding for.
It would have been apprehended. Then his family would come and beg, Joe, sorry, it's not.
Sorry for what? A criminal act? In fact, he should be made to write stories.
You know what?
Because if his mind is this robust to plan a heist,
Creative.
a heist in
classroom heist.
a classroom heist, and you know he should take his flowers for ingenuity.
Nigerians are
so
confident.
creative. We are actually very creative and innovative people, and if you just channel that
know,
in the
we can't
right
channel it,
direction.
Is that we got channel it? All right, ladies, we'll go for a quick break now. Stay tuned because Jasiri is just getting started. We'll be back shortly.
This is innovative.
All right, welcome back to Jasiri. If you're on the go and you don't want to miss our live episodes, at News Central TV is what you should look for on all social media platforms. Follow us and watch us live. The hashtag Jasiri is to make sure we see all your feedback. Now, let's move on. This next story is very interesting because a woman attended her sister's graduation party and noticed a stark absence of fathers and uncles, despite the common narrative of a, in quote, male loneliness pandemic. She expressed gratitude for her own supportive dad, who always prioritized her milestones, emphasizing that women should hold men accountable for their absence and not make excuses for those who don't take parenting seriously. She also additionally observed that men often arrive late and leave early, prioritizing appearances over genuine involvement. Now, this story sparks important questions about gender roles, parental responsibility, and the dynamics of family events. Let's take a look. I'm currently at my baby sister's primary school graduation party. 100% of the parents in attendance are women, no fathers or uncles. Someone said they're still on their way. That's the personal business, but I've given my dad 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah, I love it. Update, only one father is here and he's a deeper life man. It is well. My father is here. Good for him. As a daddy's girl, I honestly can't believe this is a norm. My father was present in all the key milestones in my life, including the ones he didn't expect. There's actually no excuse, and women should stop having children for men that can't and refuse to parent. I sense a frustration here. Also good to note that men are the first to leave these events, even after being the last to come. Only here for photos and to show face. This one, I'll be lying. Which the kids don't mind, by the way. They just wanted to show up. But people that were clearly raised without love will feel triggered by this tweet and start writing epistles. Please go and meet your daddy.
So I think we'll have reactions to this.
Oh,
tweet.
la
Let's see the
la.
reaction. This one says, before you say anything now, they'll say the fathers are out hustling for the family. But if you check, more than 60% of the women in attendance, you'd realize most of them have businesses, contribute financially to the family, yet have time for the children. I go to PTA meetings. PSA. He also says, another person says, I'll say it again, your biggest life decision as a man is probably choosing the woman that will birth your kids. Majority of the ones on this thread will turn your kids against you, with or without conscious efforts. Be very intentional about the woman you plan to do life with, Chief.
Excuse me, what's the sense of that?
So he's trying to say that any woman that will see him as too busy, be careful of that. Someone says, I'm honestly troubled by how many women now raise children on their own. Even if they always did, men can now choose not to parent, and now, instead of running away like they usually did before, they walk familiar streets with no consequence, and people around them allow it.
Honestly, you should have preferred the solution.
Oh, take a look at this. My dad used to clear his calendar months ahead. He and my mom would come to FGGC Ibusa early in the morning for me and my younger sister, then head to FSTC Uromi for my other siblings. What that meant is that they probably started cooking at 4 a.m. The excuses are hilarious.
Honestly.
Oh my, look, what?
So I'll say that this mostly is like a culture thing, right? And the cultural dynamic cuts across the dad, the mom, even the
genders,
children,
yes.
right?
Yes.
For the parents, for the fathers, it would look like, well, my role is. I remember telling you guys a story about one of my neighbors that I picked up, and I almost punched him.
Yeah,
because it was
you
saying
did.
things about, his son woke up in the night, at night at 4 a.m. to ask for tea, and that's not
woke
his
up his wife.
business. I've left the house for them. I'm not going anywhere, but I've left the house for them because it's the mother's responsibility. Because when they grow up, they love the mother's
You
more.
will come down there.
Like, I was so
it is
upset.
disappointing.
I
Yeah,
was
so
screaming,
upset.
and I will stop, and I'll
Honestly,
put the
his
motor
own
on back.
honestly.
children.
And I've seen, very rarely though, but on the parts of the children now, you see people say, why should
But
my
that's
father
the normal
be here?
thing.
But yeah,
Yes.
because for them, it's a norm. They didn't grow up to see their father around. Like,
Okay,
it's because
one of my
normal.
friends is talking, Dr. Show, he's talking to me on my WhatsApp. He's saying that, let me read his comment out so that you know that I acknowledge you, Dr. Show. He said, are you saying a man not coming for inter-house sports or PTA meeting, graduation, is father absenteeism?
Oh, do you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Please do. Is that not father's absenteeism? Is that father's presenteeism?
we don't necessarily have to say it.
But it is.
And you see, we shouldn't pick on individual activities. I think the point is that there's a way that men are absolved from the day-to-day nitty-gritty involvement with their children's lives, and that is given to the women to handle, and that shouldn't be. Because listen, we both made this child, and the child needs both parents.
Yes.
There's the energy that the father brings that the mother can never ever bring, no matter how well-intentioned she is.
Ask us that are raising children by ourselves. The
There you
lacuna is very wide. My kids are grown now. My boys have entered into early adult life. So right
They
now
need
I'm
a male
scrambling
role-
for male, visible
role
male
models.
support for them to be able to tell masculine things to them.
Yeah.
Because
And
right now I don't get
Yeah,
them.
and let's not lie against 9-to-5 jobs, because some of these men still have time to visit friends,
and hang out with
gist
the
with their
boys.
teens.
Tennis in the
Exactly.
evenings. Yeah.
And they always say you don't get less busy, you only get more organized.
Yeah.
The women are also working. It's not gone are those days where you say the women are
at home.
stay at
We
home
take
mothers.
time off our work to go to our children. So when they do parents teacher stuff, I don't take time off work to go and do
I
it.
think, first of all, women have enabled this bad behavior from
Yes,
men
for
from
decades,
from
centuries.
time immemorial.
Yes, yeah.
We grow up, some of us grow up seeing that the fathers are not around, they're not present, and we accept it because mommy does every other thing,
pick up
but
the
it's
slack.
not supposed to be so.
pick
So
up the slack.
I think the thing starts from base. Women know who you decide to get pregnant for. Because you are the one, the man just spreads his wild oats and you are the one who receives it. You must know and be intentional about who you want to father your child.
This thing
Absolutely. I
about
wanna
intentionality, right? I would not excuse, I wouldn't say that it's not a valid reason that people are working, but it's like she said, it's intentional effort, even if it means taking turns. I know, I can't remember, someone was saying it that, okay, I think it was a guest we had on the show that the child was asking, Daddy, why are you the one who drops me in school? And it's like, this is the only time I have to spend time with you.
Yes.
Don't take that away from me. So it's about being intentional. We're not saying that you have to be at every PTA meeting or you have to be at the assembly ground or at closing time, but at least graduation ceremonies, prize giving. Some children receive prizes and then they don't see
They
their
don't see their
fathers.
parents
They get
there.
home, they're like, Daddy, I got you back.
Well done, oh, good boy, well done. Some cry.
Very
Oh, yes.
decisive.
You go to
yes.
some cry. You as a fellow parent, your heart breaks for them.
I'll never
Daddy,
forget my law school graduation. It was in Abuja, and it's still something I cry about today because I had no family representation. My mom was the only mom. My dad is late, and my mom lives in Lagos, and they could barely buy the wig and gown for me. So nobody was there, but my friend's mom stood up and clapped when they called my name. I was happy, but I still felt a sense of loss, and it's still with me today. Like I can't even find any of my
the
pictures
effects linger.
because not
Yeah.
all the pictures didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I was taken with people's parents in my wig and gown.
Oh, no.
I felt alone.
Oh no.
So
you know, I
imagine
think
that
that-
for a child. I'm grown up. I'm talking
you still
about
have-
law
you still
school.
feel
And
it.
you did not talk about it then. So you
I
can
didn't talk
imagine how
about it.
she's been working through it.
Do you know
all
what
these
I
years.
think? I think that a woman can tell, because we have women's intuition. I think you can tell from when you're dating the man, if he will be an intentional father and husband.
Some people
choose
so
to
the
be
problem
observant.
with that is some people are dismissive. A lot of women live in denial.
Yes.
That's why you see a potential, you see prospect of abuse
You
written
see
all
the
over
red
the
flag,
land.
but you flying high, and
You
you're
say it's blue.
well, maybe it's a shade of red. It's not really red. It's
Not
just
really
burnt
red.
orange.
It's pink.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say that these opinions we hold is new ageism.
No.
But a lot of our mothers, I can tell you, because I don't like to speak for other people. I saw my own mother when I grew. I look at my mom at her demise. I could see that we were the only. When you say this is the sunshine of somebody's life, that was our children
life
were
was
her
her
only
entire
light.
life. Yeah.
Because she didn't have the opportunity to express her
Explore
individuality.
herself. Yes. What time does she have to do that? Is it when she's cleaning snot from the nose, changing the diaper, making the food,
And then
cleaning
just
that? When is she going to do
pretending,
that?
you know, the man is away for long periods of time and she just adjusts.
They
Yes.
just make it like
and
it
just-
is a woman's duty
Job.
to care for the children.
So I must say, you know, while I'm not saying shout out to fathers who are intentional, because there are a few of them.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah, there
know
are.
men who are intentional.
No,
I have a friend who, he has one son.
That's
He does
such-
not, he will turn, you know when they say bend over backwards.
Katrine's eyes
that
are
so
misting
much.
over.
Yeah.
Misting.
I thought you were going to
So-
No, but it's a beautiful
I'm
thing
trying,
to
I'm
see.
trying to be understanding and also play the devil's advocate, right? I realize that it's not so easy, right? Like I said earlier, to have men. But again, it's not about you even attending these events. Okay, how about you can't make the event, but you know what? You came first in class. I'm going to take you out, right? We're going to celebrate. Just make it very.
But even that
the
is
concept-
a lot. Do you know that this new age, sometimes I would attend my children's event I can't make it to their school for visiting day. I visit with them with WhatsApp. So whoever I sent, if it's my PA that went, will make sure that I am present, I'm clapping,
So
I'm shouting.
exactly. So
through
what's the
phone.
excuse now?
So
When
my son will
they-
come to the phone and say, hey, mommy.
So now that there's digital,
You can
what's your
try
excuse?
harder.
Exactly.
Imagine if you're in a board meeting and say, excuse me, give me 5 minutes, my son is about to receive a present and I would love to be there by Zoom. It will just make that child beam. She can even show the phone and say, my daddy's here.
Yes.
Hi, daddy,
And
say
then-
hi.
You know,
Yeah, and then
it's a difficult thing. It's a tricky thing talking about the family dynamics, and you know, when it comes to children, people get defensive. Parenting styles, people get defensive. In fact, I think it was just last week that the federal government of Nigeria set 18 and 16 as the minimum age for admission into tertiary institutions. In the midst of all this, Tolulope Ekundayo, who graduated from Adeleke University at the age of 19 with a first-class degree in accounting. She was able to achieve this feat just in time, and she also received multiple awards for her outstanding performance. Now,
19.
Imagine,
When
the
you
reason
say
I talked
that-
about this is, imagine if with everything this child achieved, her father or parents weren't there. Do you understand? It almost feels like I did this. There's a way that you want your parents' validation.
Yes.
No matter how much you feel you've disconnected from it, we all want daddy and
just-
mommy to
yeah.
say, hey, good job,
Another
kiddo.
thing is,
Yeah.
how about we don't wait until they achieve this much before we show ourselves as their parents?
Thank
Because
you
that's
so
another
much.
thing.
Child will not be
That's
a
another
straight
thing.
A
Yes,
student.
yes.
Did
Some
you hear
parents
the
will be
Panini
absent.
lady when she said, my father has, you see, you could sense the pride.
Yes,
When she
I
said,
give
"He's
it.
here,
It
go
will
and
be
argue
here."
with your fathers.
Yeah.
I know
I
who
know
I
my
get.
father will show
There
up.
was even an online dad that did something lovely for his son.
His son, yeah.
You know, that we took on
Oh,
the show.
yeah.
It was such a
Messages.
sweet thing. The way he would involve himself and tell his sons, I love you.
Yeah. Do you know how many men they haven't heard I love you, other than from maybe their girlfriend or their wife, even
Strange.
maybe not even their wives anymore.
Yeah.
For a man to hear I love you from another man, sometimes they cringe. It's like,
What's that? I beg you.
yeah,
Stop
and
that,
it
bro.
is- yeah.
Bro,
And they deserve to hear it so much more, just as much as women, because love heals, and men are so wounded.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
A
are.
lot of them are wounded, and maybe they didn't have someone to point how to be a better father.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I'm not so anti-men.
Yeah.
I understand the technicalities and the hardships that men face in this particular generation that we are. And I'm very empathetic towards men that I see trying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I keep telling people, I said, it's not the amount of what you bring, it's your try.
It's the effort.
When they can see that, if daddy has no money, but I can be sure that your father would send 20,000 naira every month, even if it is water, it buys.
Yes.
He will do it because that means who he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But very quickly though, what do you people think about the age limitation? I think we've talked about it here before. You know, the reducing the university age, admission age to 18
like I
or
said,
16.
you know, like I said, we are confused. You first say 18, then you come down to 16. I don't understand. Is it that you didn't, what took you to 18 first? And then say, oh, sorry, no, 16 is actually better.
It's the wild, wild west.
Why are we doing
tembo?
tembo? What is the matter with us? If you say a child, okay, university age is 16, Abi? What are the reasons why? And you say 18, what are the reasons why? 18, I have, my son told me, said, I wouldn't go to university before 18.
Whoa.
And I asked why. You know, we calculate it.
Yes.
My dear, the earlier you finish the better. Just be going.
Yes.
But he said that by 18, he would be mentally ready.
Thank you.
Wow. I could not argue. These children shock on a daily basis.
Abroad, you can take a gap year. You take a gap year.
He said to me, I can do a pre-course.
Thank you.
Which he did something in music. He said, but I will not
be
go
mentally ready
until 18. I was now the student, and I was now the child.
I'm so impressed by him.
But it's even good that they have a balanced mentality. That's what I keep telling people. Even though he's abroad at that time, if you do not give your children a balanced mentality,
they're going to struggle.
They are going to struggle. For me as a parent, what you need to do, and that is why we need daddies and mommies doing this together. Because these days, you have to spot for your children what they can't see for themselves early. So that you can channel them. Do you know abroad there are specialized schools?
Yes.
Schools of children that excel in mathematics.
Yes.
School of children that maybe athletics is the thing. And they need to prioritize that. But in Africa, we don't have that.
No, it's math, English, biology, chemistry, and geography. If you like, no. If you like, don't know.
Honestly, and so most times, right, in the West, you see a lot of students taking gap year. It's very
take a gap year.
Gap year.
They say gap year. No, they will ask you, the gap, is it in your brain? Let us close it.
No, please, let your daughter not take gap year and make you a gap year grandmother. Because in Nigeria, you have to, before you can allow your children such
gap year and do nothing.
Excess
in fact, the fact that it is considered an excess.
Come and finish it. So, you know, I don't know whether parents are doing it for themselves to feel happy
again, it's about,
my child
so a lot of parents want to just hurriedly, so everything has to let it just happen and let it be.
I have a theory. It's an optics
primary form. My mother pushed me to write common in. You would think
they're like, skip primary 6. Skip primary 6. Yeah.
And it's not just about the academics. People don't understand that. It's also behavioral growth. It's mental health, right? Because your child is not mentally developed.
Ready. Honestly, I quite agree with you because children's developmental abilities are different. You can't have a 16-year-old that is quite mature, and you might have a 16-year-old that is quite childish.
Because Tolulope now, you know, graduated at 19 in the first class, doesn't mean everybody
is going to be able to do that.
And it doesn't even mean Tolulope is mentally ready.
Just be academically sound or maybe a semi-genius.
Yeah.
But those are things.
But emotional development, it doesn't.
No, Nigeria, we don't have time for all this emotional. We just
look at this country.
Oh my God, this children are hilarious. I'll go for that to visit my children. This guy, I saw one boy, JSS1. He used rubber band to all these trousers. This him and God.
He's a baby.
He's a baby. He carried a flask to carry inside a spoon. I looked at the child, I was like, this is someone, I had this overwhelming not to put him on my back or just tie her apart, carry.
And I think that it's not just, this is not just, it helps the children themselves, right? Because when they grow up at the right time, they mentally develop their, behavior develop. There's some people that they say no to them at the first instance for a job interview, and then they can get depressed because they're not used to it. They're used to things happening fast. They're not used to, okay, we gotta go.
It's a great conversation.
But Annie, it's good to have you back with us.
So glad that
Annie will be with us for a while. Why Tolu is doing what she's doing. We don't Tolu, we love you, by the way. But that's all we can catch up on today. Remember to stay tuned on Mondays to Fridays by 10 a.m. to see us bring you all the trending, thought-provoking, and hot conversations on television. For me and the ladies.
Why do we always say so for me and the ladies? Just goodbye.
No, like, am I not a lady?
No, it's like
like me,